Up, everybody? It's your boy Huey. Just doing this week's Facebook Live and promotion for my podcast. Got a few updates for y'all. Apologize, the quality right now is a little trash, but glad to see everybody. Glad to have these updates. Been doing a lot of work. So, first things first, this week's Curls promotion. I thank everybody who has been following us and just tuning in every day, seeing what we got going. It really means a lot to me that like the type of engagement I get. Um, Not just because I'm trying to build this podcast and get a following, but the quality of conversations are just really, really dope. Like, um, I I intentionally take quotes from you all as discussion points just to again highlight the fact that I personally learn a lot and curate a very specific online experience for myself, and I'm glad that when I share that with you all, you're very receptive. But it's just like I'm amazed over the last few weeks, just the intensity of just the quality of conversation, the way in which people are really treating the platforms like a safe space that they're meant to be, so that even when there are disagreements or whatever, I don't know, I just really fuck with how y'all engage each other. Like it's just dope. Like I love it. Thank you all for dealing with all of my posting all day. Um, yeah, I just appreciate it. So uh, for this week, the Curls promotion, like I said, we're giving away several different items from the Curls brand. My face is normal. What does that even mean? Like I don't even know. I mean, okay. Um, well, thank you, Suzette. I'm always appreciative when you join us. Thank you, baby. So, like I said, we're giving away several items from the Curls Natural Hair Care product line. Again, thank you everyone who participated in the promotion. The winner, so to speak, is my friend and longtime supporter, Damali. It's actually her birthday week, which is separate. She didn't just win because of that, but she actually wrote us a great review on Instagram, which I'm waiting on her to touch it up so that I can reshare it. But it was just great. I'm glad to have her support. She's a wonderful person. You all are wonderful, but I definitely appreciate the kind words she had to say about us and what we're trying to do. I really appreciate whenever she contributes to the dialogue. I think we all have a lot to learn from each other, which is the main point of just getting us together to have, more serious, pointed, direct conversations about how we feel about love and relationships and getting beyond our assumptions just to talk with each other, not at each other, to investigate and engage our points of disagreement, um, to just really build more intimacy. Like that's my ultimate goal. So again, Damali, thank you. When I connect with you this week, I'll give you the product, we'll take a picture, do the whole touchy-feely thing. But again, thank you very much. A few other updates. So our official launch is going to be on November the 2nd. That's when I'm going to drop the first episode. My crew and I are pretty excited. I talk to them, I don't know who it is, like daily. So we're going to have a really good show for you all. I'll give you more information about when the episode will drop. But actually that night, I recently decided that we should have, hey, boo, what's up, Alicia? Um, we're going to actually have like a launch party. But mainly, I just want people to meet up. We'll be at a spot in DC called Kiss Lounge. I was there a few days ago. I just like the atmosphere, the vibe. Definitely the prices because your boy is not trying to spend a lot of money. But I really appreciate the service. Black-owned business. I really like the space. It's right across the street from the Howard Theater, which I think, just in terms of getting around and everything, it should be a good time. I plan to be there around like 5:30. If they close at 1 a.m., definitely come out, have a good time, take a picture with me or you weren't there. Anybody who can't make it, I appreciate you being there in spirit. The biggest thing is definitely check out our first episode. I love all type of feedback and critique. If you think it's trash, let me know it's trash. If you love it, let me know why you love it. If there are just certain things that you want us to talk about, like definitely let me know. I love all types of feedback and engagement. Like I said, I want this to be a continuous conversation, not just about what me and my other co-hosts think is important, but we just want to hear from you guys. So this week, actually, our YouTube page dropped live, so we're going to try to do more videos. So Um, if you have certain questions or, hot topics that you want us to discuss, we're only going to have so much room between like an hour or two with our podcast, but we definitely want to have more engagement there. So you'll see a lot more videos coming from me. Yeah, I'll chill out on that one little filter, but I love it. So you're going to see it a lot. But a few other things, actually, the website, I made some traction. I've been working on it for the last few days. So our website is more than just a landing page now. Figured out a way to incorporate it to have some of my other work on there. Not more poetry than anything, but it's still on the same topics of love, sex, dating, relationships, and fuckery. So that'll be built out a little bit more. There's some folks who expressed interest in writing for us, which I think is awesome. So more updates to come, but you'll see a lot more engagement on those two platforms as well. In terms of next week, so I'm using my phone for updates. One of my dear friends and co-hosts, Patricia Dorsey, Trixie, as I call her, she's actually going to be doing our live video feed next week. There's a segment we're building out for her called Tricks with the Fix, where she gives wonderful advice. I love her perspective. She's really been like a dear friend of mine and sounding board for, I don't know, probably over the last 2 years. And so I think I was in a conversation with her when I decided that I wanted to do a podcast and I wanted her to do it with me. Thank you, babe. I'm glad you get inspired. One day we'll get together. But yeah, like she's my homie. She's my ride or die. And I think the quality of conversation was just so dope that when she to do the podcast with me, like I was elated. So we actually talked this morning. We talk almost every day just to make sure that not only will our conversations be engaging and entertaining, but that they'll be solid from an operational point of view. So you'll see some more updates from her, more videos from her, which I'm very excited about. And with each week, we'll introduce a new host just to offer more engagement, also to let you know we have more people on the team with me and my big head. The one thing also I wanted to do before I close out is some people had some questions last time, so we're going to keep up with our Ask Huey segment. Let's see what we got this week. And of course, anybody watching right now, definitely, send in questions, comments. I'll respond. Again, videos make me super uncomfortable, but, trying something new. So anything you get will be raw and unscripted. What if I had the opportunity to go anywhere and start a new life, where would I go? What job would I have? And how would I imagine my house there? So right now I live in the Washington, D.C. area. I lived in Boston. I lived in a few places in North Carolina. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, born and bred. Honestly, I would probably move to Atlanta. I love the city. I love the people that I know down there. I definitely love that the cost of living is much cheaper than what I'm paying right now. So I moved to Atlanta. You like it raw, no scripted. That's how I am, man. I spent a lot of years filtering who I am, so I'm not really trying to go back. So yeah, I moved to Atlanta. I got a lot of folk down there. My new life, honestly, I'm trying to be fucking famous. I'm wealthy, famous, and happy and satisfied in my relationships. I'm coming to Atlanta. It's gonna happen. So move down to Atlanta, continue on with a lot of my projects. The ultimate goal would be to like have a show on like XM satellite radio or something like that. But I have a lot of dreams, I'm gonna, like I said, try the comedy routine, make that happen, get a level of comfort on stage, because right now it terrifies the fuck out of me. Keep on with my content management like I'm doing right now. And just keep sharing my ideas. I'm going to make the Book of Huey a series of essays about a lot of the topics that we discuss right now and over the next few months. So I don't know, my new job, it will just be Huey Booker as a house of brands. I mean, I have a lot of projects coming that once things are more solidified, you'll see a lot of updates and sprints over the next few months. So, I mean, I'm excited, and I hope you all will be as well. My house, I don't know, like I'm not really big on stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like I want to be comfortable. I think in Atlanta, like I would be able to be a lot more comfortable than what I am right now. I mean, my apartment is pretty big and nice, but I would say I want a very welcoming environment. Like, I love hosting people. I love having friends over. I definitely want to have, some extra bedrooms. So if someone comes to visit, we're hanging out, they need a safe place to crash. Like, I got them. I want family in and out all the time. I want my friends in and out all the time. Um, I do want to settle down, have one wife, and that one wife has all of my children. I don't have any right now. So I see a very familial setting with tons of room, a lot of comfort, a lot of love, a lot of food and drinks, and just house parties impromptu all the time. Like, I want my folk just to be at home when they're with me, so that I see community when I think about my life settling down in a place like Atlanta. I'm also open to Houston, just somewhere south and cheap. What's my favorite recipe? I've been cooking for a long time, like 23 years. I started cooking when I was like 7, but like really cooking, like I was a latchkey kid. My parents worked a lot, and we had to help out. Um, so I would say right now I really fuck with Cajun Alfredo. Some shrimp, homemade Alfredo sauce. I love pasta, and I love Cajun food. So that meal really does it for me with a lot of onions and bell peppers and shrimp and lobster and crab meat if I'm feeling not cheap. So that's the one. When did I get my first phone? All right, I don't know who asked this, but I was in high school. I think it was the summer after my freshman year of high school. I went away from Cleveland to Boston for boarding school, and I was just terribly homesick. Like, one thing I noticed when I do these videos, like my natural accent will come out, which is pretty low, raspy, whatever. But like my normal everyday life, like I don't really speak this way. When I went to Boston, nobody understood what I said. Like, I'd have to repeat myself often, change the cadence, use different terminology. Like, it was hell. I hated it. Like, I didn't speak really for like 3 months because I just got tired of it. But my parents would buy me phone cards, and I would spend Friday night after dinner. Well, actually, Friday nights in the boarding program I was in, we used to just order food or whatever. So Friday night from like 4 o'clock in the afternoon to like 1 in the morning, then all day on Saturday, I would be on the phone talking to friends, talking to family. They were the only ones who I could connect with. So then I ended up getting a cell phone, and I ended up, this was before unlimited calls. So like I used to go over quite a bit because it was the only time I could like be myself. Like, other than talking to my mentor who's from Atlanta, so he kind of understood my accent. It was hell. So I guess I got triggered just now thinking about that, but that was an emotional thing for me getting my first phone because it gave me more flexibility to like communicate with people. Um, why are Australian dogs fastest in the world? I don't fucking know. Like, who? Y'all trolling me. All right. Autumn is coming soon. Pumpkin pie and Thanksgiving and Halloween. Well, that's not a question. Pumpkin pie is cool, but I fuck with sweet potato pie for real. I love Thanksgiving. Halloween is all right. I'm not going out for real in DC. Like, traffic is always trash. Where Alicia, you got a question. What's up? How do you think your upcoming projects will affect your dating life? Groupies, availability, options. Um, well, time management is very important to me. So, you know, I would say I also have short-term memory loss. Little backstory: I had a really bad fever in college, and I almost died. Some of my friends saved my life that night, and but shortly thereafter, I had like short-term memory loss for like 8 months, and it was really bad. And every now and again, when I'm really stressed, it comes back. So I write a lot of stuff down. I use the calendar function. So what I do is, like a week or two in advance, I plan out when I want to work on the projects, when I need to rest, when I want to go out and see my friends. I schedule phone dates and all that. So um, I feel like if I really want to get to know somebody and we're dating, it's up to me to make the effort and make the time. So Um, I'm not, if I'm ever really, really, really busy, then I just need to step back. Dating can be a very fulfilling experience and reinvigorate me. But I still got to hustle too. So it's a balance that I need to maintain. And I feel like if I'm honest with myself first, I could be honest with anybody that I'm spending time with, either from a business or romantic standpoint. So I just try to keep my integrity together, be honest. If I make a promise, keep it. If I don't, make amends, apologize, and just deal with whatever repercussions there are. So um, I see it just being another thing that a responsible person like myself will have to manage, and I'm fine with that. Groupies, um, I again, if I'm honest with myself and the amount of free time that I have and what I'm really looking for, I need to communicate that with anybody that I'm dating. I'm talking about the groupies right now, Alicia. I don't really, I mean, do I have groupies? I don't even know how to answer that. Like, I have women that I'm dating right now. I have friends. I have people that smile at me and do the "Hey Huey" thing. Whether that means they want to date me or not, I don't know. But will I settle? No, I never. I'm too busy for that, and I'm too dead set and focused on what I want for my life and my future. So there will be no settling. But I would say, like, groupies, right? So let's say there's some people who find me attractive and they follow me or whatever. If I don't really, if I'm dating, then if I have the time and the willingness, then I'll date. But if I'm in a relationship and I'm committed, I don't break those vows. I did that once. I had a moment of cowardice, which is what it is, and so I'm not perfect or anything, but it's not something that I want to repeat. So if I'm in a relationship, I'm going to respect that relationship. If I decide not to be in that relationship, I'm going to communicate that and talk to my partner before I would do something to jeopardize it or my integrity. So I think as long as I'm honest with myself about who I am and what I want, what I don't want, and right now my neck looks mad fat, and that shouldn't be a problem. Uh, what pain is harder for you, physical or spiritual? I have a very high tolerance for physical pain. Oh, you're welcome, boo. So I would say spiritual. I've been in some situations that have deeply impacted me to my core, challenged my beliefs, my philosophies on life, and hell, it just hurt. Like, just mental, emotional, spiritual trauma that I just don't ever want to relive, and I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. Physical pain. I mean, I've been told I have a high tolerance for pain. My dentist is like amazed because I had like $2,000 worth of dental work this year, and he was just like, "Bruh, how? And have you been dealing with this long?" And I'm like, it didn't. I mean, it needed to get done, so I took care of it when I could. I would say spiritual. Physical pain can heal. Spiritual pain will stay with you until you address it. My favorite word, fuck. Um, I don't know. People in the Midwest, we curse different. It's more passionate, more emphatic. And fuck applies to a lot of stuff. So, yeah. Am I going to the cemetery on Halloween? I don't even like going to cemeteries on any other day. Well, no. Uh, okay. Halloween is cool, but I'm not really all into it to be going to haunted houses and cemeteries. And like, for what? What is the place you've always wanted to visit? I really want to go to Italy. Like, I love Italian food. My godmother's Italian, so I got exposed to some elements of Italian culture, and I just think it's beautiful. I think the history, the artifacts. I love history from the ancient world. So particularly the Greco-Roman period. So I would really, really fuck with Italy. And I want to go to where my godmother's family's from, and see her village and where her ancestors were. I mean, having that sort of personal connection for me would mean a lot. What is the place? What is the purpose of newspapers? What are these questions, man? It's to give information. Like, Nowadays they're a little outdated, but there's probably a big population of people who still prefer a newspaper. I don't really. Okay. Picture of my tastes. I'm going to presume you're talking about taste in women. Like women. Like, I'm never going to say I have a set specific type, because the minute I do that, it could be a wonderful woman who doesn't necessarily fit that profile or that phenotype, and all of a sudden she's not gonna holler, and we probably gonna miss out on each other. I mean, I love my sisters. Don't get me wrong. High yellow to blue black, just be beautiful in the ways that I like, and that's what I'm leaving it at. Have I ever lied to my best friend? It's possible. Like, I wouldn't. I wouldn't necessarily. I don't know. I mean, I guess like probably not intentionally. But there definitely been moments where I've been dishonest with myself about the things that I want and don't want in life, and as I was maybe figuring it out, I probably wasn't the most honest with them. I would say not intentionally so. Good question though. I try not to lie. I don't like liars or lying. So if anything, I would say short answer no, but I wouldn't necessarily doubt it. Okay, sorry, I've been scrolling on my phone but trying to get to these questions. So, okay, my homegirl asked, why is being the head of household so important to a man's perception of his own manhood? What does being the head of household exactly mean? 2 questions. Love it. Thank you. I think what most guys want it to mean is that they have a position secured in their family unit, both nuclear family and extended family, where they're seen as like a provider financially, a provider emotionally. They set the tone for the family and the culture, and they're the disciplinarian, and what they say goes. Okay, cool. I think a lot of it comes from like outdated traditions and principles from like 1945, where women stayed at home and did whatever the fuck their husband said, and if she got out of line like the kids, he smacked her around, and that's trash to me. Like, I mean, even if you want to, quote unquote, be, I don't know, like more modern and equalist, and your wife still comes to you, you make the fun. I don't really know. I think a lot of people sometimes take that head of household thing like too far. So, I mean, I think it's bullshit most of the time, honestly. Because what happens when your wife goes to work and she's not some little doormat, and you make decisions together? Like, how does that really work? I just say do what works for you and your partner, irrespective of your faith, of your culture, your traditions. Because, like, I mean, my parents always told me, like, at the end of the day, I'm the one that has to love and live with and procreate and fuck my spouse, not nobody else. So we have to do what works for us first. And I think when you have that sort of mindset, and then you figure out how to adapt the mini culture between you and your partner, then you can adapt that to your greater community, your greater faith, your greater culture, traditions, or whatever. So I was brought up Midwestern, and most people from the Midwest, they're black, they have Southern roots, so it's very Southern-esque. Blue collar background in a Baptist house. And my dad's Pentecostal now, and I'm like non-denominational, but I would never intentionally try to just limit my experience on life and love based on all those factors. Now, they are important and shape the context for who I am, but I want a full life. So I would never let anybody else dictate to me the type of love and relationship I'm supposed to have based on how I was raised. Like, no, you're not paying my bills and you're not loving my spouse. That's my job. So to your first question about why is it so important, I think it's important based on how people were raised. Like, they have a context. For me personally, it's important. It ain't that important. I want a partner, and there are gonna be certain areas of the relationship where I'm very strong, certain ones where she's not. I mean, the 2 adult relationships I had where I cohabitated or shacked up, I mean, to be frank, I was the cook in the relationship. I have a lot of experience. My dad was a chef. My mama can cook. Started cooking at a very young age. And so that was part of the deal when it came to grocery shopping and being the one responsible for cooking. That was my job. Very domestic. My mom wanted to make sure none of us stayed in a bad relationship because we needed our partner's domestic, or for my brother and I, their domestic skills. So I guess head of household is more of like them being a man, I guess. When really, I personally, I'm going to always be me, a very confident, responsible person. But my confidence and sense of responsibility is not threatened by having a love interest or a partner, a wife, who is just better at something than me. That's a learning opportunity. That's a chance to have more intimacy and more growth in my own self and in a relationship. So let's say I met somebody who is a financial whiz, and I know some stuff, but she's really good at it. I feel like I'm going to take her advice when it comes to taxes and estate planning and investments and stuff like that, because that's her area of strength. So that's just one. Okay, somebody else said, today I found out a friend broke up with his girl because she was being selfish. They were having money issues. Instead of her trying to assist, she had no job. She thought it would be a good idea for her to buy a plane ticket instead. He still loves her very much and totally heartbroken over this. My question is, how many times is too much to experience heartbreak? I know the heart is resilient, but when is enough enough? Man, enough is fucking enough when you want it to be, frankly. Me in this situation, I would be a little upset too. You're not working. We're having these financial issues. You buy a plane ticket for what? Like, did somebody die? Is your mama sick with cancer? Like, or you just going to Miami? And do you need money from me because your ass ain't working? Now, you could have your own savings, right? Like, you might have decided to take the loan from your retirement. Cool, it's your money. It said boyfriend, girlfriend, not like spouse or nothing. So, okay. I'm going to assume they living together, but even still, I would be pissed. Like, if we got money issues, why you buying plane tickets? I would have a conversation. I wouldn't be dictatorial about it, but enough is enough when you personally reached your limit, and can't nobody tell you different. I wouldn't. The heart is resilient, but fuck all that, man. Pain is a beautiful thing because it reminds you of what things should not feel like. Like, I mean, and certain types of pain is good for you. Like, I can go run a marathon or train for a marathon and be sore and deal with a level of discomfort. That's okay. That's like me trying to train. That's me, my body letting me know that I'm operating at a level I'm not used to, and I'm getting prepared for it. This type of shit is just stupid. Like, they're not even married yet. One thing my godmother always told me is, which it sounds a little crazy, but crazy in a good way. She's like, look, if you're dating somebody, you're not even married. Like, chill out. Don't even go down that route. Like, you shouldn't have your first crossword with your spouse in marriage until 3 or 4 years down the line. Like, you should just be fun, having fun, getting to know each other. Like, that honeymoon phase should be real and last as long as possible. And I know a lot of people, like, they date and they kick it, and they like have really shitty relationships dynamics like early on. And I'm like, why the fuck are you here? Like, there are so many people on this earth that you just don't have to deal with the type of shit you're dealing with. So this type of shit, I don't know. If it's happened a lot, I would say they might want to reevaluate some things. I don't know if they got kids, own the house together, whatever. But if they don't, they're just kicking it and doing the boyfriend girlfriend thing. Fuck that. Be out. Like, I'm good. At what age do you let potential go? I mean, I don't date potential, so I feel like potential is cute, right? Like I have a lot of things going for me right now, but I also have my own set of struggles and issues that for certain people, they may not want to entertain. And I'm not mad at them at all. So I feel like the conversation shouldn't even be focused on potential. I wish more people spent time enjoying the person that they were with exactly as that person was. Like, I could meet somebody, and let's say she has a few extra pounds, quote unquote. Like, she might be a little thicker than what makes her happy or make whatever. So she's working out a lot. And maybe I can see a lot of pictures from her before and after, and I can kind of know her goal. And I can say, well, damn, when she hits her goal, she's going to be real fucking fine. Okay, cool. But what about how she looks like right now? Like if she just stopped, if she just never did another crunch or never ran another mile, am I happy with her right now? I think a lot of people are so focused on potential that they overlook exactly where a person is right now. I was engaged before. It didn't work out. I'm not going to demonize the person. But my mom had said something to me once because she knew I was unhappy with something. She's like, listen, I know this area of the relationship is important to you, but you got to understand if you love this woman and you guys are wanting to be married, you have to make the decision to be responsible for certain things insofar as if the issue you're complaining about never changes, will you be happy? And if the answer is anything but yes, you have a responsibility to end this because when you get married, you're assuming that your love is going to cover a lot of these other areas and you have to be sure. For that one particular thing in our relationship, I was not happy. If it would have stayed the same, that would have been a big problem. It was a big problem. And I mean, ultimately that wasn't why the engagement was broken off, but it was a contributing factor. So I think potential is bullshit. Like you need to be fully present in the moment. You need to be fully present in who the person that you're dealing with. Because when you fall in love with potential, a lot of the times I think we make up futures and situations in our imagination. And I would much rather deal with the uncomfortable truth of who someone is right now than the pretty picture that I imagine them to be in the future that I made up. I think it's bullshit. Like, no. How do you balance the need for independence and the need for intimacy? Ooh. I don't really think those are mutually exclusive. Like I'm a very independent, self-sufficient person, but I crave intimacy. So I think as much as I love my personal space, I love being close with someone, right? So I guess that's more of the dance. So I would say I get along much better with people who say, hey, I need a minute. Like I need some alone time. I'll call you later. Or I'm not having a good day, but I'll talk to you tomorrow and let you know how I'm feeling. I would much prefer that than somebody who is emotionally dishonest with themselves and with me. So as long as you, I think first are honest with yourself and then you communicate that in a very direct but empathetic way. Sometimes how we say things are very important. I think a lot of times people just need to say stuff. We do a lot of assuming, we do a lot of backbiting and being coy and dropping hints and trying to be subtle. Like, it's a lot of goddamn work, man. So I think if you want to spend time with somebody, but you also know that you need a certain amount of alone time, set those boundaries kind of early and stick to them. And if they need to be adjusted, don't be afraid to just have an honest conversation. It doesn't mean you have to be a dickhead about it. It doesn't mean you have to be crass or mean, but there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I need a little more time. You know, this cadence isn't really working for me. Or, hey, I love the time that I spend with you, but my personal time is very important for me. So tonight, I would rather just stay home and just chill. But tomorrow or the day after, I might be at a much better place to spend some time with you. It can be very simple. How soon do you ask your partner about finances? You know, debt, looming bills, salary, etc. Well, you said partner, so I'm going to assume that this is somebody that like you're in a committed relationship with, whether it's an open relationship or exclusive or whatever. So this is past the dating phase. This is past the like getting to know you exclusive phase. This is somebody that like you are like really kicking it with, really fucking with. So, but even then, right, like the timing is important because I could be in a committed relationship, but we're not living together. We're not talking about living together. So why does that matter? I would say if you have a certain lifestyle where there are just certain places you go and you like to travel, or there's a certain type of hotel that you will or will not stay in, and that has certain financial considerations for your dating experience with the person, I think you can bring it up then. But if you just kind of want to be nosy, like, hey, bruh, how much student loan debt you got? Or You got like 2 credit cards or you got 20. I mean, I think the first thing is like, why do you need to know? Like, is it going to change the dynamics of your relationship? Did you notice things in your dating relationship that were causing you problems? Um, so first, like, why do you need to know all that? Now, if y'all are talking about buying a house or co-signing on a car, some real financial obligations with each other, then yeah. But if you just like coming to my house twice a week and we go out, for a weekly date night, so I see you 3 times a week and we just date and getting to know each other, sharing different experiences, like, why do you need to know about my credit score? So I think when you ask or how soon is how relevant it all is. If you just want to be nosy, then you might want to take a risk. You might pick a partner, but that's up to you. I would say ask when it's appropriate. And the appropriateness is defined by the types of transactions y'all are dealing with. So again, if you are about to co-sign on somebody's property or you about to have them be an authorized user on your credit card, you got a joint account because y'all live together and you pay bills together, before you actually confirm all that, then you might want to talk to somebody about their financial obligations and their spending patterns and all that. But if you just want to be nosy, you run a risk pissing somebody off. And the last question, what work do you do after a relationship? Well, there are a few questions here. What work do you do after a relationship ends so that you won't make the same mistake? Me personally, I spend a lot of time by myself, like trying to heal. My engagement ended. The relationship had ended actually pretty badly. So I spent like over a year. I mean, I dated, but I made sure that I wasn't physically intimate. Like I dated somebody for like, I don't know, 6 months. And we had just started holding hands and maybe kissed twice. I was a little extreme because I was going through some stuff, but I never want to be in a situation where I'm building intimate connections with somebody new, but my shit is all fucked up. And so that I bring them into my confusion. Like my integrity it's hard for me to do that. So I don't. So I spend time, trying to get healing. I think therapy is dope for people. I've done it at different points. I have great friends. Try to stay busy. I try to stay productive. But, I follow the stages of grief. I try to be honest about where I am in that cycle. Think about what I learned. So rather than being like upset that the thing ended, I kind of feel like anything that ends or is lost it wasn't meant to be permanent. So if it didn't work out for the reasons that it didn't, it was never going to work out. I just realized it when I did. So, okay, well, what did I learn from it? What were the experiences that were still good? How did I grow? How did I adapt? How did I change? And in good ways, and what are some of the things that this experience taught me about my character and my lifestyle that I should adjust, I should have changed for me so that I can be a better me? Next question is, have you clearly defined what a successful relationship looks like for you? I say so. I mean, I want somebody with integrity. I want a certain type of communication, a certain cadence and quality of communication. I want the full experience of like love languages and all of that. I want a homie, lover, friend, and I have an idea of what that is for me. So I try to be very honest about that with the women that I date and with my friends so that they can hold me accountable. So if I'm off track, they can tell me like, hey, bro, you kind of fucking up right now. You need to turn this back around or change what you say. So my friends do a wonderful job at that, at keeping me honest. So yeah, I have a clearly defined plan or vision, but I'm also flexible and adaptable. I mean, I meet people sometimes and they're very different than what I would have thought that I wanted or was interested in. So it's exciting to be challenged in that way. So I try to be open to. I don't believe in like locking myself down completely. There's a short list of things on my non-negotiable list, and it's a short list for a reason because, sometimes you do have to operate in a gray area and deal with a little ambiguity to really be challenged to be the best version of who you need to be. Can I articulate what type of husband I want to be? Yeah. Like I said, a homie, lover, friend. I want a partner who I can trust to be vulnerable with. to where I'm not feeling like I'm at my strength. She knows me and she knows my heart. She knows my vision that I have for the different areas of my life. So she'll know how to speak to me in a way that offers insight and truth and encouragement, um, to just meet me where I am, but to help me walk out of that experience with a positive outlook. I want a partner who's stern in who she is and what she values. So that, because I definitely am myself. So someone who has a kind heart. So I want to be that as well. Communicative, gentle, funny, loyal, supportive, protective. Definitely be a provider, in the sense of, being a man who gives the best of himself to his partner, to his family, to his work, to his labor. Um, I want to be the kind of husband that is just very honest and earnest, has a sense of righteousness about just life in the world based on my code and my philosophy. And I want a wife who sees the effort that I put forth, and she appreciates it. Insofar as, like, of course I want it to be me and be true to who I am, but I want the type of partner where she'll see the effort that I'm putting forth to do things that make her happy, that make her feel cared for, that make her feel like she's supported to be the best version of herself that she can be. And we'll figure out ways to just do that as a team. So it's a lot. Have you done a full examination of monogamy? If you require it, do you know why? Do you want both emotional and or sexual monogamy? These are some great questions. My polyamory stops or has stopped when I commit. Like, I don't have a problem dating multiple people at once. I'm very honest about it. No one who dates me will ever feel like they were misled. So if I'm dating multiple people, those multiple people know. If I'm not dating multiple people, that one person knows. So it's never a secret. It's never something to hide either way. I never want to be close to someone and not pay attention to what matters to them, and then they feel blindsided. So, I meet some wonderful women who say, like, hey, like, I only date one person at a time. And I may or may not be cool with that. But if I'm not, I don't hide that and make her think she's the only person I'm dating. That's some bullshit. And I don't like that. So I don't like playing with people's feelings and emotions. So I don't do that. But I have noticed that when I get into a relationship, like, I focus on that one person. I mean, like I said, I cheated once. That was cheating. That was me being a coward. That wasn't me having a mature series of conversations with someone and we agreed to having an open relationship. So as open as I am about dating, like, sometimes people think I'm joking or whatever, but if I'm dating multiple people and they're dating multiple people, then that means they're dating and having sex potentially with other people. And I don't have a problem with that because they're not in a relationship with me. I just hope that they're safe and they're happy and fulfilled. So I challenge myself to times like, well, why is that an issue for me, or has been an issue when I'm in a relationship? Good friend of mine, pretty much said it's a different relationship. Being in a committed relationship to me has a certain vision, and it's just never included multiple people. It's not a criticism or point of condemnation against people who have open relationships. It just hasn't been my experience. I can't say that it won't ever. But I'm also not. I don't have an interest in it. I don't want to be with multiple people long term. I want one wife, and but things change. For now, I am not interested. I require monogamy. I require transparency. Like, I may meet a dope person and we might decide to try the open thing, but the transparency and the commitment to that person comes before a desire to want to spend myself emotionally, sexually with other people. Do you want both emotional and or sexual monogamy? For now, yes. I want my wife to be emotionally and sexually monogamous with me. Yes, that is a part of the vision. CJ, what are the steps for priorities with that, dating multiple people, and as a person may evolve into being a primary focus. So for me, bro, so I meet somebody, we express interest in kicking it a little more, but I try to do it the first conversation, like, hey, I just want you to know that, like, I mean, right now, I don't like how my neck, it's like all fat, man. I just tell them, man, like, hey, I don't want you to have any secrets. Like, the DC area is really small, the circles really overlap. It's not that I want to be malicious or anything, but right now I am dating other people. So if you want to date me, I want you to know that that's a part of the reality that you'll be walking into, getting to know me. Particularly if this is somebody that I don't know, like I met at a party or at a library or something like that. So she knows from the very beginning that aside from the fact that the interest can be reciprocated, that, I mean, I probably had a date the night before, that morning. So I think the first priority is being honest about it. Now, I've had some women say, well, I appreciate the honesty. That tells me a good thing about you and your character. It doesn't change anything for me. I still want to get to know you. I still want to date you. Okay, cool. So then it's like being honest about my time, right? So I'm working on the podcast and a few other projects. I have a day job. I have a bustling social life with my wonderful friend, CJ. You're one of them. So then it becomes a matter of, okay, well, what's the cadence going to be like with this person? Are we talking once a week? Does she and I talk every day? What's organic, but then what makes the most sense? So there, you kind of have to work that part out. And then it's like being honest about what you want. So like, ultimately, I want to settle down. So I'm always thinking about, well, as I'm getting to know these women that I'm dating, who am I most compatible with? I may get along great with one person, but she may have a different vision for her future, for her relationship. And if that doesn't mesh well with me, then I have to mitigate, well, even though she and I get along very, very well, we want ultimately two different things. So having a lot of conversations. So when I do date multiple people, I try to have once a month, like a serious conversation, like, okay, what are we doing? How are we feeling about it? And that kind of helps us gauge if, us are aligned with, wanting to settle down or not. It ebbs and flows. I've had some people say, hey, we're going to be really good friends. I've had others say, well, I really like you a lot. You're not my front runner. There's this other person. It all depends on the level of transparency that person wants to have with me. I mean, I'm like an open book, but I've known some women to say like, hey man, I don't need to know details. I've had other lovers tell me graphic details. So I think the main priorities are be upfront, be communicative, figure out your cadence. And then the fifth thing would be just evaluate, man. Honestly, check in, have constant communication. I'm not threatened or offended if, the person that I'm seeing has a lover or or girl that she's dating, and that person is like their front runner or whatever. Like, okay, cool. For me, it's all about communication and being honest about where you are. I hope that answers your question, CJ. Going back to the list, of course, my phone wanted to reset. There's just a few more questions, so I'm going to just ramble for like 30 seconds until I can get back to it. Wow, appreciate you, brother. But the other thing, too, while I look for this is I think a lot of people, or some people can be very disjointed, right? Like they might say, oh, I want to settle down, and they never figure out what it means, like what it looks like to have that relationship they look for, right? So like I might date multiple people, but I let all the people know, like, yeah, I'm dating multiple people, but I want to settle down. So we have serious conversation to figure out if our lifestyles mesh well together and if we want to go down that route. So if we decide not to, there's no bad blood. Now, there's some other people who don't do that, right? Like they might say they want to be settled down and everything about what they say and what they do is totally disjointed from what they say that they want. Like they're not walking parallel to the truth. And that's like a problem. Just like people who say well, I'm just kicking it. I'm not looking for nothing serious. But then the minute they get somebody And while they should be kicking it, having fun, whatever that looks like, then they're trying to like trick people in a relationship. So I think you got to be real honest and forthright about what it is you want, what you don't want, and be consistent with it. Like if that changes, cool, but communicate that. But I've had some women try to like scam me into relationships, and I'm like, bruh, you just said you did not want a man, but then based on like their actions and disagreements we have, then it comes out, well, oh, I said that, but I wanted you to want what I wanted. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why don't you just say that? Like, don't play these games with me. Like, if you tell me you don't want a relationship, then okay, cool. I'm going to interact with you like somebody who wants to kick it and not be in a relationship. We're not going to talk about relationship stuff. We're going to plan this date. I'm going to see you. That's going to be it. But if you want something serious, then you need to say that because that changes the dynamic. So some people, I don't know, they do some backward shit. Okay. Last question. While looks may attract you, what specific qualities hold your attention over the long term? Character, a sense of humor, ambition. Like I'm a cheerleader, you know what I'm saying? I'm a supporter. I'm an encourager. I like figuring out what matters most to the people closest to me and then supporting the shit out of them, holding them accountable. You know, I want people in my life to be fucking awesome because I think I'm fucking awesome and I want to be more awesome. So, CJ, I know you do your rum runners business and you go around the world and you promote the beauty and the culture of rum and rum-based activities, man. I think that's dope. So what do? I know that's important to you, so it's important to me. We talk about it, bruh. You have something popping. I want to be there if my schedule can make it. If I could change my schedule around, I'm going to do that. And I feel like anybody I date, I want to know what really matters to her. So if she wants to be a stay-at-home mom, if she wants to be a Fortune 500 CEO of a company she starts, word, then I hope that part of our dating experience can be me and her sharing that parts of ourselves and growing together. So the main thing is I want somebody I fucking like. So be serious, be funny, be communicative. I'm over here using my fingers and whatnot. But other than that, I would just say somebody with a sense of vitality and passion about life. I want a full life. I want to help people. I want to help myself. I want to have a pattern or a series of experiences that really help me see the world better and learn and grow. And having someone in my life who is comfortable with complacency, we probably wouldn't get along very well. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Again, congratulations to my homegirl, Damali. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your week of your birthday celebrations. I will meet up with you and give you the product. Thank you to my friend Pamela G, who's an ambassador and who offered up the product. I think that was dope. Thank you for everyone who tuned in and had questions. Again, our launch is going to be on Thursday, November the 2nd. I'll give you all a heads up on the time it's going to drop and all the different podcasting platforms. We're going to have our launch happy hour just to celebrate this accomplishment. And really, even though, you know, it's under my name and I'm doing a lot of work for it, I'm really appreciative of all of you. Because really, I mean, people say it like, oh, there would be no me without you. But like straight up, like the ways in which I'm challenged, the ways in which I grow and I learn and I come up with these discussion topics is really because of you all. So thank you for being a part of my online experience and helping me to just be on my road to pre-bay in terms of just thinking more clearly and more deeply about the type of life and relationships that the type of life I want to lead and the type of relationships I want to foster with people, the type of conversations that I want to be a continuous part of my life. So thank you all. Please continue to hit us up on all of our platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, and Ask Us FM. You know, definitely we're going to try to engage more on the social media side of things and less of this personal page. So a lot of conversations we do want to steer more towards the Facebook page, IG, and all of that. So, you know, more details will come out pretty soon. So thank you all and talk to you later.